It's 5
We're
o'clock.
live.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5
It is
o'clock.
time.
5
And
o'clock
Al is
Pacific.
here and on the job.
Yes, he is.
He's ready.
And it might be time for
Hit
roll
it.
call. Well
There it
done,
is.
Al.
We have missed that, Al.
And-
Definitely missed that. We have Kevin and Doc Tim, who is Tim Genovic, and Frank from Japan, and Jill and John and Rose and Rick and Sandy and Steve and Al and Zoe. How fun is this? Anybody? Oh, Mr. Ed appears to be in the sidebar there.
Yep.
And anybody else? I saw Charles Goucher there on the sidebar. I don't know if he's listening or not.
Is he?
chatting.
Who's Wabbit Magic?
Oh, Wabbit Magic. They're somebody.
Yeah, they've been here before. They're green, but I don't know if they're
Wabbit
participating
Magic. What is
right
Wabbit
now.
Magic's? Yeah. Can't remember their name. Oh, I know what their name is. Their name is Wabbit Magic. That was what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
said,
they
nope,
did not
that's
want-
who I am. That's great. Well, did you miss having the live show last week, guys? Miss having the tomfoolery? We took some of the tomfoolery with us on the trip with Jill and John and Marty. And unfortunately, wait, did I miss somebody? No, I think that's everybody. And unfortunately, one of the NosillaCast ways used the data. I just said their name. Man, I'm bad at names.
Bruce?
Bruce, yeah. Bruce used the data. He unfortunately, that's Bruce from Tennessee that you've heard from before. He was supposed to be there, got off the plane in Chicago and had COVID. So he was an hour away from us sitting alone in a hotel room, sadly not being able to be there. It was horrible.
That really sucks.
Yeah, it was so close, So anyway, but yeah, we had a good time. I'll be talking about in just a second. There will be a live show. No, there will not be a live show next weekend.
Again, this is
Right.
travel time.
Oh, this is gonna happen a lot, guys. I had to print out a piece of paper to keep track of all the places we're going. Yeah, there isn't going to be one then. Actually, then we'll have one. Then we won't have one. Then we will. Then we won't. Then we won't. That's a lot. We're going to Mammoth, Houston, the High Sierras, New York, Utah. I think that's it. That takes us through the middle of October.
And when she said Mammoth and then the High Sierras, she did mean that. We're going to essentially the High Sierras twice.
We should just leave our luggage up there because we're going to go to the High Sierras or go to Mammoth, come home, go to Houston, meet the new baby, and then come back and go within a half hour of the same location.
Yeah.
Than the Low Sierras.
Yes.
Exactly.
Low Sierras.
All right. Well, shall I give it a start here?
Yeah, let's I think we're ready.
I think we
No,
are.
not another baby. They well, actually,
Oh, maybe you
one of
don't
those
know.
Well-
Kyle had a third baby. His little baby named Teddy.
Little
Teddy bear.
Theodore proper, but we're calling him Teddy Bear.
Theodore Grant Sheridan. I was coming up with Moorhead. I can't get the live video. There's a CAPTCHA on your site that keeps asking me to type in words over and over again. I do not have a CAPTCHA.
Yeah, that's
Are you sure you're at the right place, John? Sounds like a lot of presidents. Yeah. They know what causes that now? Steve, have you ever seen a CAPTCHA?
I don't recall, but we don't get in through that. He's probably getting in through Discord at your website rather than direct.
No, he says he can't get the live video. There's a CAPTCHA on your site.
Oh.
Check the URL. That's
All right, let me.
That's very weird.
You're talking the. Oh, interesting. Let me.
Wow. No,
I
that is
wonder
the
if
right site.
If I sent the wrong.
Put the wrong URL in. Can anybody else see the YouTube? The YouTube there embedded? Yeah, you can go direct to the YouTubes, but that is a concern. Okay, you can see it, Jill, but can you see it on podfeet.com?
Yeah,
You
it's.
can.
I've got it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
Maybe he's
Tell
got
you
it.
what, let me just put this. I'm going to
No,
put
he
this.
says he
link-
got it. He said
he
I
got
got
it.
it. Oh, wait, no,
Okay.
that was Ed. John, oh, it doesn't matter if John can't see. That's fine.
I'll put the link in. Oh, someone else did. Allison did.
Yeah, Jill did.
Or Jill did. Thank you.
Picture in picture from Podfeed. Interesting.
All right.
All right. I'm going to start recording. I don't care what anybody says. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, July 30th, 2023, and this is show number 951. Well, I really wanted to take some time to talk about MacStock and what a great conference it was, but I'm going to have to defer that till next week. I want to make sure I tell you in a way that doesn't sound like when your best friend tells you all about their summer vacation in Hawaii and you have to pretend to be happy for them while you spent the week working in a stuffy cubicle. I want to hopefully make it more interesting than that. All right, this coming weekend, we are going to be going off to Mammoth for a week with Lindsay and her family, so there will be no live show on Sunday, August 6th. I'm going to release the show early again, probably on Saturday. So Saturday, August 5th, you will get the show, and that'll be your hint not to show up to the live show. We get back on Saturday the 12th, and because of the awesome NosillaCastaways, there will be plenty of content for me to publish another show on Sunday the 13th, even though I won't be working all week at all. We will have the live show on the 13th, but it'll be mostly me just chatting with the audience and goofing around because I'm going to rely on the kindness of the NosillaCastaways for that. Now, I'll still have 2 recordings ready for the trips that are still coming up. So if you've got an idea for something that you're going to record, please go ahead and still do it. Don't hold back, because we've got, during the live show here, I've been waving around a calendar of all the different times we're going to be gone, so I can definitely use some more help. And anyway, let's kick into gear for this week's show, shall we? All right. Oh, John is just... John, what you been doing, buddy?
He's acting like a robot.
John? I actually kind of like this. If we can selectively block John, that's good, right?
Allison.
What exactly is the downside we're talking about here? Okay.
Come on, John was pretty good to you at MacStock.
Oh, only when you were listening. The first thing he did was come up and be snarky to me. Seriously. Okay. That's weird. I don't think that worked. I don't think this is working. Copy link. Okay, and why is this name? This should be, maybe I got it that time. Nope. There we go. Copy wasn't working properly. There we go. All right. If you're going to be that way. That's weird. Okay. My clipboard manager stopped working. Things are getting weird. Okay. Now I've got it. That was strange. Okay. Get ready with the... Here we go. I'm sure that by now you've watched or listened to my interview with Nobel Prize-winning astrophysicist Andrea Ghez. If you haven't yet, stop listening to this now and go check it out, because it is an amazing interview. It's just fantastic. Anyway, in the interview, you'll remember that she explains how she and her team determined that there's a supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. One of the reasons they were successful was that they discovered a star called SO2. And, shoot, Steve, what does SO2 stand for? Solar Object. Just got it. Okay.
Solar
At the
or
center
stellar?
of our galaxy. Solar object, you said it was?
I think so. Or stellar object. I don't know.
Uh-oh. So I won't say it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, wait. Anyway. In this interview, she explains how she and her team determined that there's a supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. One of the reasons they were successful was that they discovered a star they call SO2, which has an incredibly short orbit around the center of our galaxy. It's only 16 years. That means that they were able to track its entire orbit during their study, and it means that even more science will come from observing it during its most rapid movement at either end of the elliptical orbit. During the interview, when Andrea said that SO2 was her favorite star, I asked her whether her team has t-shirts. She enthusiastically said, no, but there should be. Well, Steve and I decided to take matters into our own hands, and we designed SO2 t-shirts. Andrea's team already had done the work of mapping several stars orbiting the Milky Way center, so I simply replicated the orbits, making one of the stars' orbits white, or all of them white, except for SO2, which I made in yellow so it stands out. Now, you too can own one of these coveted t-shirts by ordering them through our online store at Cotton Bureau. Because we believe science should be open source, we removed any profit on the shirts, so the $27 you see is purely the Cotton Bureau pricing. We also wanted to make sure the shirts were as inexpensive for Andrea's team as possible. We shipped shirts to her and her assistant, who helped me get the interview, and I can't wait to find out whether she likes hers. Since everything good starts with podfeet.com, go to podfeet.com/shop to buy your very own SO2 is my favorite star t-shirts for $27. We chose tons of different colors. I love the tri-blend shirt options, but you know what? You do you. We also made an iPhone case, and it's $27 for the MagSafe version and $23 for the slim non-MagSafe version. I can't attest to how those look in real life. I'm kind of tempted to buy myself one, though. Anyway, my favorite thing about the shirts is that pretty much no one will ever know what they mean when you wear them. But you know, if you know, you know. That's not quite the one I wanted to say. But you know.
Better
But if
late
you
than
know,
never.
you know. Sorry?
Sorry about that. Stepped
That's
on
okay.
your recording there.
No, it's okay.
Mike joined us late, but
Mike.
Grumpy Mike.
Grumpy Mike. Hi, Grumpy Mike. How you been? David Roth already bought his shirt in orange. Did I tell you that, Steve? And
Yes.
he bought the orange NASA watch band, and
Yes.
Bart bought it in orange as well.
Yeah.
And,
That-
you know, I almost didn't do orange because it's kind of hard to see yellow on orange, but man, they're both super excited about having orange shirts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like orange is David's favorite color.
Steve bought his in black. He claims orange is his favorite color. But you do have an orange watch band.
I do. I have that NASA band. I showed it to John, in fact.
Oh, did you wear it to Macstock?
Well, I brought several. I wore it one day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You're such a clothes horse, right?
Clothes horse, yes. See,
All right.
John confirmed it.
I think I'll do a chapter mark. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because somebody told me I should. Copy link. All right. And then I will go get Shutter. Let's spam everybody about Shutter. Yeah, the black is good. It does look good with it. I'm actually, I didn't even know to point
Yeah,
out.
you
I'm
were-
wearing mine this whole time. It's in dark gray. I can't do this very long. Hurry, quick, look.
Wait.
There.
Here, let me blow you up. Just a sec.
This is hard to do. Not that strong. This is the dark gray. I'm gonna buy them in all the colors. We tried to get a thing where it could say like on the sleeve or on the back, SO2 is my favorite star, but we couldn't get that to work. So, or I couldn't get it to work. Don't blow up, Allison. All right, here we go. Oh, now you saw the yellow orbit. Yeah, but you can see how it'd be a little tough on orange, but they both seem to like it. All right. In May, I told you about the amazingly capable and inexpensive screenshot annotation tool called Shotter. I'm so enamored with Shotter that I decided to create a full video tutorial about it for Screencasts Online. As always, I learned so much more about the tool because I had to really know how to use all of it, so the tutorial has even more information than the article I wrote. Let me give my usual disclaimer. Screencasts Online is a paid-for tutorial podcast and has a free 7-day free trial. I said free twice, didn't I? Anyway, it's free. Did I catch you that? Get that? Oh, geez. For the love of it. So I said that twice. Let me give my usual. The notes actually say free twice. Let me give my usual disclaimer. Screencast Online is a paid-for tutorial podcast, but it also has a free 7-day trial that gives you access to the current back catalog, so you can watch what you can watch. You can binge like crazy for 7 days. Now, it's dangerous to do the free trial because the tutorials are incredible. We've got a great cast of characters who do the tutorials, and you'll get hooked on the service if you try it. It is only $8 a month if you subscribe annually, and I challenge you to find training of this quality at that price. I put a link in the show notes to a little teaser video for Shotter. It's kind of just the introduction where I'm just kind of getting it set up. So it really is a cliffhanger teaser kind of video this time. But go check it out on screencastonline.com. Teaching's a good way to learn. Mike, Jill is teasing me because that was the title of my talk at MacStock. All right, let's talk about programming next. I think I might take the audio from the talk and make it, try to tighten it up a little bit and make it part of next week's show. Let's see. There we go. This week's Chit Chat Across the Pond is another installment of Programming by Stealth, and Bart and I have come to the end of our journey with Bash. I'm going to be sad to have it complete because, as I tell Bart in this episode, I've really enjoyed this mini-series. Next time, he will do a final bow-tying episode where he brings everything we learned together in one set of notes as a handy reference guide, so we'll be able to know which lesson to go to remember how to do stuff. I think he wants that reference guide for himself, too. Anyway, in this week's episode, he explains how functions work in Bash, and after about the 12th time he repeated it, I understand that functions we create in Bash work just like built-in functions such as ls or cat. After walking us through some easy-to-follow scripts to illustrate this and show us the syntax, we go into a harder concept where we talk about scope. We learn that Bash does scope differently from pretty much every other language, so he teaches us how to avoid what he calls spooky action at a distance because of this different way of dealing with scope. Protecting ourselves isn't actually that hard, but it's very important to understand why we need to do this, and of course, Bart is the best person to explain this. You can find Bart's fabulous tutorial show notes at pbs.bartificer.net. Oh, good. Well, that's nice, Mike. Mike says, I found that mini-series really helpful in my work life. Excellent. Tell Bart, or I'll tell Bart. One of us should tell Bart. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know when I'm going to use it, but I've just got real comfortable with it. Did you have fun at MacStock, Steve?
I did. I think for me the best part was just getting back together with all these people, all of our friends who we hadn't seen in many cases for 4 years or longer.
Yeah.
Not everyone was there, unfortunately, including our chat room, but we did have several folks from the chat room there, and a few others that we hadn't seen in a good long time.
Yeah, we need to just keep getting more and more people to go. So you all remember Brett? He was there.
Yeah.
I didn't get him in the picture because I don't think he hasn't been here in quite a while. Everyone was very reunion-y. Yeah. I hope that wasn't annoying, Jill.
What do you mean?
For Jill, everyone else to be reunion-y?
Since that was her first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they were also very welcoming to new people, right?
I hope so.
I mean, that's my impression. I guess Jill would, yeah, she confirmed that.
Oh, John says, have they delivered you new speakers yet? After MacStock, Corky took us to a store called ABT. A-B-T. It's not an acronym. It's somebody's company name. I didn't think there was a Y on it.
It's just ABT as far as I know.
It's just ABT. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. And we saw a set of speakers that were $120,000.
That's one of them.
There we go.
And yes, it is as it appears that you're looking at the back side of the speaker, and all the, except for the subwoofer, which is the red cabinet at the base, all the mid and higher tones come out of that mesh. The mesh itself is very thin and has
Yeah, we thought it would be electrostatic.
Yeah, electrostatic, right.
Put the picture in with Corky next to it.
Do
Corky
I-
is 6'8",
Do I have
and
that
yeah, it's the
one?
picture right before that one. You don't see it?
Yes, here it is.
This is the speakers he was thinking we were going to buy here.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's 6'8".
6'8". So those are some big speakers.
Yeah, they're close to 6 feet or maybe a little more. PDX Kurt showed up. Wow, it's a big party.
Yeah.
This is fun. Oh, and Michael Westbay snuck in. Very nice. Well, I think I might do a little recording. Not doing too much, so I'm taking time to goof off here.
You sure are.
I come up to his belly button. How tall are you, Zoe? Late as usual. Short. I have my best friend from high school. When she's asked that question, she says, "I'm not 5 foot yet." She's like 68 years old. You know.
Here's
She's
another.
66.
Here's another photo of Corky for scale. That's
Well, no,
me.
it's Steve for
Corky.
scale.
Okay, we're both for scale.
That's a good shot. That's a really cool photo. I like that.
Toy Steve.
Toy Steve. Actually, I have a Toy Steve. Remember, I made a VR thing of Steve so I could put
Yeah.
him on desks and stuff. All right. All right. I'm going to record. Here you go. You guys keep goofing around. I usually try to figure out how a piece of tech will fit into my life before I buy it, but sometimes I buy it on faith that the device will find its own place. I'm easily influenced by my geek friends in this regard, so if a lot of them say something is great, I'll probably give it a try. In 2019, I bought a 5th gen iPad mini. I already had a 16-inch MacBook Pro and a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, but everyone told me that the mini is such a great device and there was room for it in my life. They were wrong. I carried it around for a while, and I even used my Gen 1 Apple Pencil with it. I can tell you that an Apple Pencil sticking out of the side of an iPad mini looks really silly. I bought the Logitech Crayon for it, which required a cable but didn't look quite as silly. At the time, I was using MyScript, a now discontinued piece of software that would recognize my handwriting and convert it on the fly to text. And, it worked reasonably well. I also tried drawing with it. But I always felt cramped with the iPad mini, and I would continuously reach for my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I found an article I wrote about the 5th gen iPad mini entitled, "Does the new iPad mini have a place in your digital life?" And my conclusion was yes. But that was evidently well before the honeymoon was over. Sounds like wishful thinking to me. I started realizing the problem. I use the iPad Pro a lot because it has a keyboard that also acts as a stand. The obvious answer was that I needed a keyboard case for my iPad mini. I set out on a quest to find the perfect keyboard for the iPad mini. If I could just find that perfect keyboard case, then I would be productive with the iPad mini. In 2019, I wrote an article entitled, "Maybe if I had a keyboard for my iPad mini, I'd use it more," in which I admitted that the novelty had worn off and described the keyboard cases I'd tried. I'm going to save you the time of reading that old article. They were all awful, and I mean truly terrible. The obvious solution was to upgrade in 2021 to the 6th generation iPad mini. That's going to solve the problem. This was a sweet little iPad with a flat magnetic side for the Gen 2 pencil to charge, and it sports USB-C, which is so much nicer than Lightning. I thought maybe I'd use it as a book reader. But it's so much heavier than the Kindle. The battery only lasts a day or two, while the Kindle lasts weeks. It was also too easy to flip over to social media and play around, then read books when I really wanted to read books. The new pencil support was nice, but when I would scribble notes on it, I felt like I was always at the end of the page with the Mini. I don't have a lot of need to scribble on an iPad, but when I'm programming, I find it a much better way to think things out. I wrote an article called "Write by Hand When You Need to Think," where I described how it works, but it doesn't work for me on the iPad Mini because it's too small. Now, I know a lot of people who simply love the iPad Mini, but they all tend to use it as a consumption device. They read Apple News or they idly scroll through social media with it. And my problem is that I simply can't read anything without wanting to contribute. If I see content I like, at the very least, I want to copy the link and send it to someone. If it's social media like Mastodon, I want to reply. I like to engage with content with other people. I was still holding out hope to find a good keyboard solution for the iPad mini when I heard Andy Anatko talk about an interesting solution. He bought a wraparound cover for the Magic Keyboard. When unwrapped, it gives a nice stand for the iPad mini. Instead of the overly cramped and improperly placed keys of the keyboard case solutions I'd tried before, the Magic Keyboard has full-size keys, so typing on it would be a dream. After I got the case, I put my spare Magic Keyboard in it, and I thought I was set. But you know what? It's a big pain to carry around not one, but two devices. It was clumsy to open, and it was awkward to carry because the keyboard case and the iPad were different shapes and sizes. That poor case, it's been sitting in my closet for years now. I did find a small use for the iPad mini for a while. I used to use some software for running the live show that had a companion app for iOS. This companion app gave me a nice control surface with big buttons as an audio-video switcher. This let me do things like mute Steve or change what the viewers were seeing on screen. While it was perfect for this use, every single week when I opened it up, the battery was dead. I had to get in the habit of shutting it down every week just so I didn't have to wait for it to charge up for the live show the following week. Now, it turns out we don't use that software any longer, so the iPad mini went back in the drawer again. The end of this story is that I finally found the perfect use for my 6th gen iPad mini. My son and his wife had a third baby, and I gave it to them. See, when they had two babies, they used my 1st gen 12.9-inch iPad Pro and my 2nd gen 12.9-inch iPad Pro as baby monitors, and it worked great. They could see both babies and hear both babies if anything went wrong. Now, Kyle knew he needed a new solution, and he didn't think carrying 3 giant iPads around would be a good idea, so he was delighted to find out that Wise supported 2 cameras in view at the same time. He figured he'd have the true baby monitor on the new baby and Wise on my 2 older and very adorable grandchildren. But when he went to set it up after the new baby was born 4 weeks early, he discovered you can only hear one of the Wise cams at a time. I did a little bit of research, and I think this might be a limitation from Apple. I'm not sure it's Wise's fault, but in any case, not being able to hear the baby is a big problem. So I sent Kyle the iPad mini, and he set it up as their 3rd baby monitor, and finally, my little device has a loving home. Isn't that sad? What? Mute Steve.
How dare.
Use it for bedtime and night radar. But bedtime, what are you doing on it on bedtime?
You're in Athens, Greece right now?
Oh, Jill says I never feel like contributing.
Wow.
Oh, I think she's looking at it. No?
No, this is Al.
Oh, this is Al.
Here is
Gaming.
our apartment in Athens. Wow.
So you find
Cool.
it useful for gaming. Interesting. Oh, you're back here. But that was your big trip? That was you and your mom went on that, right?
Oh, cool.
That's fun.
That's probably why we didn't hear from you in a while.
Yeah, he sent an excuse. He said he would be gone for a while, but I just thought he was gone longer than he should be. I mean, it was anarchy. One week, Rick wasn't here either, and then we didn't know who was supposed to do it. We thought John would do it, but John didn't know how to do it, so it was terrible. It's good to know when you're missed, right? I have a great tiny tip. I am so excited about this.
Yeah, it seemed to be popular at MacStock.
Yeah. I tooted it on the Mastodons, and it got a lot of traction. So, all right, here we go. Wait a minute. Why do I have 2? Shoot, I just broke something. I have the Shutter tutorial showing up twice. That's what I did. Andrea Ghez. There was something wrong with the titles. I got to go back and visit. Andrea Ghez should be the SO2 shirts. I grabbed the wrong title. Let me fix that. That doesn't look right. There we go. Speaking of monitoring children, play deprivation is a major. Why aren't they letting the children play? Oh, unsupervised. I see. Unsupervised play. That sounds dangerous. Mastodon. All right, here we go. On the plane out to Chicago for Macstock, I finished the book I was reading on my Kindle. One of my favorite things about reading on a Kindle is that I can easily buy another book and just keep on reading. I don't have to wait until I can find a bookstore or drag along several heavy, made-of-wood books. When I got to my hotel, I used my Mac to buy another book from Amazon and I sent it to my Kindle. I turned on the Kindle and I went to Wi-Fi settings and I realized I wasn't going to be able to connect to the hotel Wi-Fi. Connecting to Wi-Fi at the hotel had the typical interstitial pop-up page where you have to enter your hotel room number and your name. The Kindle does have an experimental browser that's been experimental for about 10 years now, but connecting to the hotel Wi-Fi did not make that pop-up happen in the experimental browser. No worries, books are just mostly text files, so they're wee tiny, which means even the worst cell phone signal over tethering would be good enough to download my book. My iPhone's hotspot was enabled, but when I opened up the Wi-Fi section on my Kindle, my iPhone was not visible in the list of available hotspots. I tried rebooting the Kindle, turning off the hotspot on my phone and turning it on again, but nothing would make my iPhone's hotspot appear. There's a solution to this problem, and that's our tiny tip for today. In Settings, Personal Hotspot, you'll see a toggle called Maximize Compatibility. If you toggle it on, the Kindle can immediately see the Wi-Fi created by your phone. As soon as I connected, I was able to download my book in short order. Under the Maximize Compatibility toggle, it says, quote, Internet performance may be reduced for devices connected to your hotspot when turned on. Well, that's nice, but I got curious about what it was actually doing under the hood. I don't know why Apple doesn't want us to worry our pretty little heads about such things, but I like to understand things. I had a theory about what this toggle might be doing, but I wanted to confirm my theory. I looked for an Apple support article explaining it, and while I did explain when to use it, the support article didn't say what it actually does. I kept digging, and I eventually found a tutorial by Apple that says, quote, Personal Hotspot uses a 5 gigahertz connection by default. I'm going to start that quote again, and remind me to put the jingle music in. I forgot to do it. Quote.
Actually, Al caught it.
Did he?
Yes,
oh, good
he did.
job. Thank you. You must have been beaming that into my brain because all of a sudden I realized I hadn't heard the music. Quote, Personal Hotspot uses a 5 gigahertz connection by default. On iPhone 12 or later, you can turn on Maximize Compatibility for Personal Hotspot to use a 2.4 gigahertz connection. That confirmed my theory. I was pleased to be right, pleased to find the answer in writing from Apple, but I was glad I found this for another reason. The place I found this, I stumbled across this, was the Apple device support tutorials at it-training.apple.com. I put a link in the show notes because you can't actually go to the main URL. You have to start at one of the tutorials. If you're an Apple certified support professional, you probably already know about these tutorials, but I sure didn't know they existed. Well, this series of tutorials is designed to prepare people for the Apple Certified Support Professionals test. The tutorials are available to all of us for free. The tutorials assume you know your way around Apple devices, so they get you that deeper knowledge you might have been seeking about how things work. I guess that's 2 tiny tips in one. All right. Yeah, I don't understand why I never noticed this before. I feel like I would have heard of that before. I would have noticed that didn't, that couldn't log on before. Let's see how that sound is. No chapter marker yet. Got to do Al's action item first. Little device has a loving home. Too late. On the plane out to Chicago for Macstock, acceptable, Steve?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
See? If without you, would not
you-
have remembered.
You did remember, but
No, but he beamed it into
he
my
beamed
brain.
it in. That's right. I forgot.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have another good one.
Spooky action at a distance.
What's the difference between a hub and a dock?
Ooh.
This was a fun one. All right. Hub versus dock. We should goof around some because this is the last thing I'm going to read.
Is it? It's not too long. Yeah, it's a short one.
Yeah,
It's a shorty.
it is. I had one more longer article I was going to do, but we've got an hour and 11 minutes of security bits because Bart and I were having too much fun. Hover stock, yeah. Well, so does a dock, Kurt. Stay tuned. Here's what it is. Oh. While on the road to MacStock, I asked Dave Hamilton a question that's been festering at me for a very long time. What's the difference between a hub and a dock? I've seen a lot of explanations on the web, but in every case, I could counter their theory with an example that proved the opposite. For example, someone would say docks are powered and hubs are not, but there's also powered hubs and unpowered docks. When I asked Dave, I got a very surprising answer. He said he didn't know a definitive way to explain the difference either. I thought he'd know. Well, we just happened to be on our way to go on a tour of Otherworld Computing, also known as OWC, at MacSales.com. These people make docks and hubs, so we decided I should ask them. I'm so glad we did because I got a great answer from Rick in sales. He prefaced it by saying this is how OWC differentiate the two terms and that he wasn't saying this was everyone's definition. Rick said that a hub multiplies an existing port protocol into more of the same, and a dock adds different ports to the machine. It's so simple, and it makes perfect sense. So, for example, if you buy the Satechi Type-C multi-port adapter that gives you HDMI, USB-A, SD, micro SD slots in one bus-powered device, that's a dock. But if you buy the Satechi 4-port USB-C hub that adds 4 USB-C 3.0 Gen 1 data ports, that's a hub because it multiplies the existing port. Likewise, the OWC 11-port dock is indeed a dock because it adds a plethora of ports, from USB-A to USB-C to Ethernet and more. But if you get more Thunderbolt ports, you need to get a hub, like the OWC Thunderbolt hub. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that while I think OWC's explanation is clear and concise, Satechi seemed to use a random set of nouns to describe their devices. Satechi have devices that are clearly docks, and they call them hubs, and the dock I just described is actually called an adapter in their literature. They sell devices they call docking stations, but they only use that term when they're referring to big, powered devices appropriate for a desk. It's no wonder we have trouble knowing which one is which, but I'm going to stick with OWC's terminology because it makes me happy to have a definitive answer to this question, even if it isn't official and not everyone follows this convention.
I like it.
Yeah, it's clean, right?
Yeah, very clean. Makes sense.
So in the article I was going to do this week, but I'm going to do it next week, is about, where did it go? Oh,
So Ed's
hang on.
asking, if you plug a dock into a hub, is it a hawk or a dub? A hub dock or a dock hub? Yes, Mike, it can be, Michael, it can be...
Steve, let me answer this one because that's
right.
exactly the question I ask in my article that I'm not going to do this week. So this is the CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 hub, and so it's got 3 USB-C on that side. I'm sorry, 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and there's the Thunderbolt port to plug it into the computer. But on the other side, it's got USB-A.
Oh.
So I started wondering, I was going, well, is that really a hub or is that a dock? They call it a hub, but then I realized that all of these 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports are USB 4 ports. So USB, right? Multiplied, we can still call it a hub. So we're gonna allow it. It's funny that you asked that. Don't you think? Thunderbolt 4 and USB 4 are essentially, if you
Yeah.
squint in the right direction, they're the same thing.
Yeah, I thought though if it changed the
The shape?
connector type, then it went into the
It's just the
dock
shape.
territory.
It's just the shape.
So the functionality you're saying is the same across the USB
Well,
A? I
no.
don't think so.
No, it isn't.
So that's what. If you're changing the functionality, it sounds more like a dock.
I know, right?
Anyway,
We could probably all just vote. But you
Yeah.
know what's funny is the OWC, I have the OWC Thunderbolt hub. It also has USB-A on it.
aha.
So, you know, security bits, music.
Ah, remembered it this time.
USB is just weird. Yeah, remember when I had the guys from the USB implementers forum on? Boy,
That was
they
rough.
didn't. Yeah, they didn't make much more sense than they do regularly
In
you
written
know, when you
form.
yeah, right. All right, let me get some audio in here. So I do still need recordings. I've got 2 from Jill and 1.5 from Kurt. Actually, I might end up with 3 from Kurt if I play my cards right.
You're going to just break them up?
Well, I convinced him to break one of them up. He was part of the discussion.
Oh, good. Wasn't one way.
Yeah. I will take as many as you can ever do, Kurt. Your reviews are fantastic. You have such a great voice, such great audio. It's all good. It's just awesome. And I've got 2 from Jill. Actually, I heard she'd like to contribute. Yeah, actually, we should give. Was Ed? You know, you did that review of Merlin. Jill had done a review of Merlin, but I told her I didn't want you to be discouraged, so I did yours instead of hers. That time of the week. There we go. So this is me. Oh, this is Bart. Oh, I've got him upside down. Okay, so that's me. Wait a minute. I can't do it upside down. I'm sorry. I have to undo all
Start
this.
over.
Yeah, I just don't know I don't know. I'm backwards. I'm going to end up doing the wrong one. Okay, so there's me. My recording of both of us. And then Bart's recording of both of us. You give Jill all the credit. But luckily she had done 2 more for me. So now this is Bart. Now I know to get rid of that one, and I get rid of that one. There. I know how to do it when they're lined up. Okay, you need to see a bleep.
I need to hear it.
Okay, pay attention. Ready? Are you ready, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Blink.
Very good.
Website is not working for me. Well, wait, Rose is getting a CAPTCHA too.
That's interesting. I wonder if Google has changed their security posture here.
Because it's just a YouTube embed link.
Yeah, did
Yeesh.
you try the direct link, Rose? I'll put it back in case
To
you
YouTube?
don't have it.
But we got to figure out the root cause here.
Well, I don't know if we can affect that.
Well, let's do some research first.
Try the direct link.
Rose and who else
John.
was it? It was John. What browsers were you using? Oh, Safari, huh?
How about you, Rose? Safari.
That's so
try,
weird.
Try
Nobody's
another
getting
browser.
what to do.
I don't know if that would. It's probably Google though.
Yeah, I wonder if you used Chrome or Edge if it would work.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty snotty.
So the European Commission,
Using Safe Harbor across the board in its entirety?
in terms of
Probably
so the safe
as an
harbor-
excuse for this.
okay,
Okay. Oh, I didn't do a chapter mark, and I didn't line them up.
I guess the question is for Rose and John. Were you going to the embedded video at podfeet.com or directly to the YouTube link?
They were definitely going to the embedded link. John sent a screen
Okay.
capture
Okay.
of it. That's so weird. But the fact that other people aren't getting it makes me think it's not something we did. That stinks. I wonder if you have to.
Firefox. John said
does not
Firefox
show the
doesn't show.
captcha.
I'd be curious if Chrome did.
I'd also
Probably-
be curious
probably
whether
won't.
you have to be logged into. Being logged in matters. Well, it's
Yeah.
that time of the week again. Okay, but Jill's using Safari and didn't have the problem.
Yeah, I didn't either.
John's not logged in. Somebody tried logging out and using Safari and seeing if they get that. It's probably be cached. Follows this convention. That's not bad. I went 18 minutes.
Logged in
Log
or
out
out of
of Google. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether it's being logged in matters.
Because this is YouTube.
30?
In terms of
Probably
so the safe
as an
harbor-
excuse.
Sandy's not logged in.
Oh, so much for that excuse.
Chrome works too. So Rose, if you can, I don't know what device you're on, but if you can try another browser.
That stinks, though. Oh, Doc Tim says, I saw a captcha on my iPhone, but not my iPad. Both using Safari, using the link on podfeed.com.
That's weird.
Yeah, we definitely can't do anything about it if it's. I don't see how it's a mistake. I like to blame Steve for stuff, but I don't think that's it.
many laws use the term safe harbor.
Oh,
But
I'm
this,
sorry.
Yeah. So this
Okay, I
is,
thought you meant the U.S. safe harbor. Okay. I talked over Bart a bunch. I think we were.
Okay,
getting
so
lagged.
Rose tried the direct link and it worked on her iPad Air.
Huh.
fine. That's just like the GDPR. Right. Exactly. Right. It's ridiculous.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Don't make those jokes when I'm drinking my coffee, Bart.
I-
Yeah, there's nothing funnier than the GDPR jokes. Those are good.
Maybe they're funnier in Europe.
No, it actually was really funny. I
Was it?
started
Okay.
laughing. Yeah, it was the United States saying that the Europeans could trust us. We would have their GDPR interests at heart, but they didn't need to make us do GDPR for them, not follow the rules. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mid flow, and I guess
Not
I
the
forgot
Court of
to.
Justice, because you already had that.
No, the ECJ or
Oh,
the
Data Protection Review Court.
There we go. So
Okay. Yeah, Safari was just updated. Maybe. See how many times I talk over him?
stuff getting massive.
No,
fines.
they have to still agree to it.
So
Oh, that too. All right. I'm not going to edit.
Good.
We might get out of class too early, though.
Well, yeah, I think we will.
Oh. Jill, what? Oh, I know it. I figured it out. That's right. I was going to ask you why, what is it? Function command right left arrow is supposed to jump from the beginning of the end on Hindenburg, but sometimes it doesn't. But you have to have no track selected. I finally figured that out.
Ah, drunk Nick Nolte joined us.
Marty!
Hello, Marty.
We showed one of the pictures.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a cute picture of me and Marty. Where
Hey, do you
is it?
have the photo? Unfortunately for me, I'd have to go to Discord probably to get it. Yeah, I mean, out of this chat.
could do
and I think
this.
that would mess things.
That's drunk Nick Nolte.
There we go.
In
he also
real
gave a
life.
good presentation.
Yes, he did. I mean, the girl ones were all better, but one of the big surprises was I don't know if any of you guys know who Mike Schmitz is. He does videos for Screencasts Online. He's just a tremendous presenter. His wife Rachel did a presentation, and she's not super technical. She rocked it. It was so good. It was really, really, really excellent. So.
Hey, do you have the photo of the entire group? The group photo? Remember the one done from the...
The sad face? I did that
No,
one
no,
already,
no.
but I can.
I'm talking about the entire... The one that
Oh,
Pete took.
I don't.
I have it. It's in Discord in the Mac stock.
We'll switch over to it and
I
grab the
think if
photo.
that may mess up what I'm transmitting.
Oh, I see. Okay, let me go over and look. Or it'd be in pictures.
Yes, I think it's in pictures.
Well, I can do one in the meantime. I've got it. Let's see. I don't know if they're going to care about that one.
Okay. Forget. I just wanted to give people a feeling of how many people attended. You just get a feeling of scope.
Okay, here's one I think is more fun than that. Where's it? I had it. Where is it? There we go. This is the Mac Geek Gab Caucus, which, come on, go. There we go. So that's Dave Hamilton, Adam Christensen, John F. Braun.
There it is.
There
John's
it
got
is.
it.
And Jeff Gamet and me and Pilot Pete. And we were on stage together because all of us have at one time been a participant in the Mac Geek Gab. It was really fun. That's going to be this week's Mac Geek Gab for Sunday, I think.
Taken with the Theta, or I'm sorry, not the Insta 360.
The drone? Right. Oh,
And who
yeah, if you
in
click
that- in
open in
that-
browser, you can see it better.
So who's that lady laying down in the front center there in front of everybody? Who is that?
Why did this picture? Half the people aren't looking. Steve's not looking. Everybody's looking forward.
Well, he didn't say now look up or
I think he took about 100 photos.
I think he did.
Yeah. We have the barcode to go get more if we want.
What movie did you watch
Oh,
night before
Groundhog Day.
that? Groundhog Day, of
Yes,
course.
we are at the site of the movie Groundhog Day there. So
That's the square. That's on the square. The Opera House is on the square where it was filmed. The gazebo's back in there behind us. Well, in front of us, but behind the person.
and right around
Behind
the
the
corner,
shot.
there's a little plaque where he kept falling off the curb and
Bill
stepping
Murray.
in the puddle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I want you guys to listen to something funny at the very end here. So partway through the episode, Bart happens to refer to the version of Mac OS. He wasn't patched. He wasn't
Oh, no.
on the latest version. So I gave him a bunch of crap for it. So here's the ending.
Stay patched.
Okay, well, that's all I got. Given that I thought there was no content, it's quite a show.
An hour and 11 minutes. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't think you get to say you can say do as I say, not as I do in this one.
Yeah, I think so. That's yes. I will wear my dunce's cap. Do as I say, not as I do. And what do I say? Stay patched, so you stay secure.
He literally goes, "Oh, that's probably what that big red button on the badge on screen says." So yeah. Let's see. Where's my outro? Oh, I read my outro for this one. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun teasing him there at the end, but we are going to wind things up for this week. Don't forget, there is no live show next week. We will be back in 2 weeks, but there is no live show next week. But in the meantime, you can email me at allison@podfeed.com anytime you like. You can send in questions or suggestions or one of those reviews I've been talking about. I still need more content. You can follow me on Mastodon at podfeet at chaos.social. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you can join our Slack community at podfeet.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely NosillaCastaways. You can support the show, even though I didn't do an ad about it, at podfeet.com/Patreon with a one-time donation. Oops. Or you can support. You can support the show by going to podfeet.com/Patreon, even though I didn't do an ad about it this week. Or if you'd prefer a one-time donation, go over to podfeet.com/PayPal and help pay the expenses around here. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, do not come here next Sunday, but wait another week until I think it's the 13th and head on over to podfeet.com/live on that Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Is it the 13th? I did that off the top of my head. So it's not the 5th. Hope it's the 13th. August 13th. I got it right. It's a
You got
miracle.
lucky.
So is that a tiny planet, Steve? You're showing pictures from your Insta360 that I've never seen.
That's a big. That's a
That
big
is
finger.
a very big finger.
I didn't
I
have
think
my
we
stick.
talked about you holding your finger on it like that.
I
that's
need to show him Corky's dogs.
Yes, this is important. So
It
Corky
is.
every year drives us all over Chicago. He picks us up at the airport. He is the best NosillaCastaway. He picks us up at the airport. He drops us off at the airport. He picks us up at our hotel. He drives us up and down the all over the place. And he has two, not one, English Mastiffs. And their names are Hoosier and Herman. Herman? Is that right?
Yes.
I think Herman is the little one. And
Yes.
did you find the photo, Steve?
It's
I'm
up.
vamping for you. Oh, I didn't see it. There
So
you go.
Hoosier on the left, my right, but the left as you're looking at the photo weighs 235 pounds, and Herman, the baby, I think he's 18 months on the right, my left, is 165 pounds. These guys are enormous. They're little teddy bears. They're big teddy bears.
They
really-
move real slow. They're real,
Yeah.
I mean, especially Hoosier. He barely moves.
Yeah, he's not. He
Do you have the
doesn't go
picture
up-
of them with one of them with Corky? I think there's a picture
yeah,
in there.
I think I do somewhere here.
He is
Because he looks normal. They look
oh.
kind of normal next to Corky.
actually. Oh, I've got it.
Okay.
I win. There he is next
There
to
we go.
Corky.
That's,
But remember,
that's Herman.
Corky is 6'8".
Now he is sitting down. Both of
Oh,
them
actually,
are.
so Charles Goucher, Linda Goucher, you guys probably know Charles Goucher, maybe. He's been in the live show. That's Charles face to face with Herman. Big guy needs a big dog. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Good meeting everyone. Or seeing
Yeah.
everyone again.
Seeing the puppies. Oh, Frank! Boo! Frank's here.
Oh, Frank. He made it.
Hi, Frank. Well, now we have to stay in Vampa. Frank's here. Haven't heard from Frank in ages. That's really
Yeah.
fun.
Glad you could make it here, even though it's maybe for just a few minutes.
Oh, I see. He's only in. Oh, he's not in live show. Listen, he might be listening by video.
Yeah.
How exciting! All right, let's hear how the ending goes. Show by going to podfeed.com/Patreon. Even though I didn't do an ad about it this week, or if you'd prefer a one-time donation, go over to podfeed.com/PayPal and help pay the expenses around here. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, do not come here next Sunday, but wait another week until I think it's the 13th and head on over to podfeed.com/live on that Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
And
Thank you,
that's a
Al,
wrap.
for the reminders. Yeah. Well, 5:57. I guess it isn't too early. Maybe I'll export this. And
Flush with Franks. Got a pair of Franks, and
flush the Franks.
how many mics do we got? I think we got two pair. Couple mics, couple Franks.
Yeah, we got some mics. We got some Franks. It's good to have sets. Full house with Franks. All right. So as Al said, I thought there was no show next week. So there's no. There will be no live show on the 6th, but there will be on the 13th. Even though I'm going to be gone the week in between because of the lovely NosillaCastaways, Kurt and Jill. What else am I going to do? Yeah, I gotta check this out. Gotta figure out what to do. All right, I think it's time to call it.
Yep.
Al is mistaken. Oh, did Al say it backwards? There is,
Al said
yeah, he did say it backwards.
There's no live show next week or
I
the
tell you
week
what,
after.
if the show comes out
No, that's-
early, I won't be here for the live show. That's how you'll be able to tell. If you get a show on Saturday, that means you're not going to get a live show on Sunday. If you don't get a live show by Sunday, then there's a live show on Sunday. That's an easy way to remember. How's that?
Yeah. This assumes
Oh, chapter mark count.
Ah, thank you, Kevin.
He asked 5 times, and we kept ignoring him.
All right. Let me
I got a
go
lot.
back.
Real
Man.
quick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Would help
7.
if you didn't count out loud.
So you don't want me to count? All right.
Not out loud. I have to basically stop my counting
Poor
if you're
baby.
counting out loud.
Poor baby. Can't do 2 things at once. Don't tell Guinness.
I have 8. Did you do one for support the show?
Nope.
Ah.
Oh, there's a link in the show notes. Well, that's cool. That's fine. There is no, there wasn't an ad, but.
Oh, there
there's
was
a
no
fake
ad
support
period.
there.
Wait a minute. There is one, I thought.
No, I didn't write one.
There's
Do
a
you
link
see-
for one.
Yeah, but the link takes you to.
Oh,
to,
I see.
Yeah, hey, it's fine. There's a link to Patreon. It just won't be a
In the
chapter
blog
mark.
post.
Right.
Got it. So there are seven active chapter marks. That makes sense.
There are 7
We're good.
lights. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I think we should call it, Steve.
I think we should. And thank you for joining us and putting up with our travels and our continuing travels. But we always have fun seeing you all here.
Yeah, nice to see you have you here for the first time, Doc Tim. That was really fun.
Yeah, and good
Really,
to see you
really
back.
fun hanging out with you.
Good to see you back, Wheels.
Definitely. All right. Bye, Rose. Mwah. Sign us out, Steve.
Good night, Gracie.